Yo, what's going on? It's Cody from Big Beaver Comics. I know I said I wasn't going to come back with a video right away, but sometimes you talk about some stuff and you're like, I could just flesh this out a little bit better, or maybe give you another scenario or analogy or a way that you could look at something that you could take and utilize it better. So, I listened back to my video from yesterday, and I just thought I'm going to add on a few things about business that I just think are really important that sometimes they can get overlooked. So I say you want to be someone that gets attention. Attention is what we were using in the last video as almost like a form of currency. So we're trying to find multiple avenues for attention. I see my phone flashing blue as the text messages roll in. So you want to find these multiple avenues for attention. Here I am on YouTube looking for your attention, or whatever you want to call it. But what you don't want to do is you don't want to be on either end of the spectrum. You don't want to be too polarizing. Don't find yourself being someone who is in business but really doesn't know how to actually get people's attention. You're going to have to learn to come out of your shell. You're going to have to learn to be outgoing. Whether that makes you feel uncomfortable or not, again, is irrelevant. Nobody cares about what your predilections for things are. You're going to have to learn. So whether you embrace that anxiety and push forward, or you allow it to stifle you, is going to be really the big differentiator in getting off that one side of the spectrum, which is being too underwhelming, where people almost don't notice you. You're like a wallflower. So you need to find a way, whether that's Toastmasters or whatever, where you can go do some public speaking, get around people, learn how to network, learn how to have conversations. Interpersonal skills are going to be very important. No matter what, if you want to be an entrepreneur, you're going to be encountering clients, other businesses you're doing business with. You're going to be dealing with employees. You're going to be dealing with your own accountant. You're going to be dealing with a lot of different people in a lot of different avenues. And it's time to step up to the plate and embrace being the adult that you would think most successful business people are. And they are. They're not introverts. They might be an introvert in their work time. I'm very much introverted. You wouldn't know it by watching me, but I'm very much introverted in my alone time. But when it comes time to work, that's not what you get. So you're going to have to learn how to come out of your shell on one end. On the other end of the spectrum, though, you also don't want to be a caricature of yourself. You're not Big Dave from Big Dave's used car auto emporium. You do want to be an authentic version of yourself. So don't take the tired old trope and think that acting overtly gregarious is going to drum anything up other than people looking at you out of the side of their eye and thinking you're a fucking fool. What you need to do is you need to find where it's you in that public forum version of you, where you're willing to walk into a room, and if you get attention, you're willing to embrace it, but it can't be a version of you that looks like you're trying to drum people up into coming to the circus. You need to be authentic, but you need to be approachable and open and willing to take the temperature of not only the room, but each individual that you come in contact with, because every interaction is going to be different. You don't know who you're encountering. You don't know the mindset they're in, the day that they've had, what they plan on speaking to you about. You don't know where they're headed right after they bump into you. There's a million moving parts. What you need to do is much like the analogy yesterday with the cornerback covering a receiver. You need to have very, very flexible hips. You need to be able to shift your hips in coverage going backwards at full speed. Now, that sounds super intimidating, right? And it also sounds like everybody else in this analogy must be like a pylon, but they're all moving parts too. So they're all going to be living their own life, dealing with their own shortcomings. They've got their own stuff in their head. You have to just remember to just be yourself. Go into the situation how you would handle a situation any other time in your life, except you do have to have a bit of that assertive switch turned up if you're someone who is a little bit introverted in the way that you deal with people on a personal level in your own life. But if you're like me, who's generally fired up, I mean, this is, you're listening to me after doing 14 hours of work today, and I'm having to pump the brakes to not be hollering at you guys about the things that I'm thinking about, because that's just the way that I'm programmed. And I don't even have any caffeine in me. I mean, that's just the way I am. So you need to find whatever it is that helps you tread that line and makes it so that when people deal with you, they think, yeah, this guy's approachable. He's open, but he's pliable. I feel like I can engage with him, but I don't feel like he's clingy or making me feel unwanted or whatever it happens to be. There's just so many different ways to deal with human psychology. What you need to do is be cocksure of yourself so that you can go into situations like a chameleon and you can adapt accordingly. You don't want to get very liberal on the internet. That would be my next. Don't, if you're me and you're willing to come and run your mouth on the internet or whatever, that's fine, but don't be a brazen asshole on the internet. Don't go out of your way to drum up controversy. And I know people will tell you that controversy sells, or that controversy creates cash, or, you know, any attention's good attention or whatever. That's not the case. I don't believe that. That's not the case. I think it's a lot of energy to have to deal with nonsense. I think there's a lot of things that can just be left unsaid. I think your grandma's teaching you that you have nothing nice to say nothing at all, comes into practice the most apt on the internet. There's a time and a place to take a step back and say, you know what? I've had 2 or 3 drinks. I smoked a joint. I've had a long night. My wife ain't sucking my dick. Whatever your issue is, that's not the issue to pair that up with whatever you see on the internet that you disagree with, and then drag your brand with you through that nonsense. The thing to do is to step back from your phone, from your computer, from your social media, and realize that everything you do or say better be a reflection of the brand that you hope to create. Because if it's not, what you're doing in that moment of impulsivity is 100 times more detrimental than good business will be able to outweigh. You know what I mean? Don't go down that road. The internet has given a multitude of idiots the rope to string themselves up with. Don't be one of those idiots. And if you see other people going about it, you know what the best thing to do when you notice your competition making mistakes? Just sit back and watch. Don't get involved. Let anybody else dig any other hole they want, because you can't dig your way out of a grave. So let them continue to cause whatever issues that distract them from doing the actual business. You let them deal with that. You deal with serving your clients and serving your business well. And don't worry about serving some ideology or some whatever. This is not the place to burn the boats. So don't do it. On the internet, keep it all business. It's all about brand building, and your brand should be strong and should be watertight, and you and everyone that represents your brand should all have the same modus operandi. And that's where we lead to the third thing, is don't get political on the internet or anywhere near your business. There is no way. I'm literally mashing at my face with the stress that I get looking at people who do this and think, why? Why is this something you feel the need to do? I understand that you feel strongly about whatever it is you believe in, but so does everyone else. And if you haven't figured it out by now, a lot of people believe in different things. The best thing to do is to leave your political biases at home. Don't bring them up in relation to your business. Do not have people look at your business and think, oh, that's that such and such ideology's business. That's not the way you want to be represented. I'm telling you, the thing you want to do is you want to be as bipartisan as absolutely possible. You doing business is not a place to take a stand. Your business is an inanimate object. It does not have political beliefs. So do not take your fallible human beliefs and interject them into your business. Your business does not deserve to have your bullshit baggage. Your business might be doing really well. Your clients might love the service they receive. But you and I and everyone else know that there's nothing that divides people quicker than ideological arguments. Don't take a good client and sail him down the river because you disagree on some whatever it is. Because at the end of the day, the one thing you and him and everybody else in business and in the world agrees on is that your main job today and tomorrow is to get out there, work hard, get better, and take care of your family. And you can't do that if you're so busy dying on every hill for every belief that you think is worth dying for. Because I can tell you for a fact that when you can't make your mortgage payment the next month because you alienated everyone, those beliefs aren't coming to pay your bills. So keep your head on your shoulders and don't let your business get weighed down by you may not think it's personal baggage. You may think you're 100% right, and maybe you are. But why burden your business just on the off chance that you might be wrong? Just don't do it. Don't be political. Don't be a fucking caricature. Don't hide in your shell though either. And don't come out on the internet and air your dirty laundry or your grievances or have beef with clients or other businesses. It's just so uncouth. You could do so much better. Hold yourself to a higher standard, even if other people don't.